Hello everyone, today's topic is ethical power, politics, and etiquette. So this chapter covers the effects of power, politics, and ethics, the 7 bases of power, increasing power bases, influencing tactics, organizational politics and behaviors, techniques to improve human relations, business etiquette, and customer complaints. So power is a person's ability to influence others to do something they would not do otherwise. It's necessary to meet goals in all organizations. And power is something with respect to who holds it and how they use it and how that affects performance. Excessive power can lower performance. Some seek it and others reject it. Leadership and power do go hand in hand. So looking at your power base, there's a self-assessment 8-1. If you would, go ahead and complete that. Your selection rank 1 through 7 shows how you prioritize your base of power. Organizational power. So power can be used to manipulate and corrupt. It's a negative connotation. In organizations, it should be positive. Power, when properly used, gives the ability to achieve goals, and also provides the strength to make change. It's a skill in using power correctly that can be developed. Basis of power. 2 levels exist, position power and personal power. Position power comes from top management and is delegated down a chain of command. Personal power comes from your personal style and people skills, and is given to you from those who choose to follow you, and is earned. It's not necessary to take power away from others to gain your own. Positive people are more likely to gain power than negative people, and power is given to those who others genuinely like. 7 bases or types of power. 1 is coercive power, which uses threats, punishment, and, in a sense, being a bully. It's appropriate when needed to maintain discipline and enforcing rules. It should be used minimally, as it often has negative effects on human relations and productivity. To use it, you must be in a position that gives the ability to hire, fire, and discipline employees. Connection power is based on one's relationship with influential people. Not what, but who you know. If you have connections to power, others are more likely to comply with your requests. To increase your connection power is to join the in crowd and identify people who can help you, make alliances with them. When you need or want something, they will be your allies. You want to get your name in the public eye and make sure people in power know about your accomplishments. Reward power is based on your ability to influence people with something of value to them. And give you something you want, which is a positive reinforcer, recognition, raises, promotions. There's also reciprocity with peers, an exchange of favors, or letting the word out, let others know what rewards you offer. To use it, you need to be in a position of control over resources. Find out what others value and use it as a reward. Using praise will also increase your reward power. Legitimate power is based on the person's position or credibility in your organization, and people tend to feel like they should comply with their bosses. Most day-to-day interactions are based with this power. To increase your legitimate power, you want to let people know about it. Remember, it's all about perception, so even if you don't have it, you want to give the impression that you do, and if they perceive you as having it, then you do. Referent power is based on your personal power. You rely on your charm. It's appropriate for people with weak or no position power. In order to gain it, develop relationships with others and want to be their advocate. Gaining the confidence of your boss will help you gain referent power. Information power is based on what information you have access to. Insider information. If you know things that help others, you have the power. To help gain information power, you want to make sure information has to flow through you. You provide a service and information to others. You serve on committees, which gives you information and connection power. You go to meetings, seminars. Expert power, based on your skill and knowledge of a subject. Being the go-to person has its advantages. The fewer people with the skill and knowledge, the more powerful it is. People depend on you and respect an expert. To increase this power base, you want to get all the education you can, and that's available to you. Take all the training classes offered in your organization. Leave routine tasks to others and engage in complex, hard-to-evaluate tasks, and project a positive image. Basis of power. Remember, you can use different types of power in different situations with different people. The secret is knowing when, what, and with who, and that it takes experience and ability to read people well. Influencing tactics. Along with power sources and bases, you need to be able to persuade people. Persuasion takes careful preparation and proper presentation, and people respond well to appropriate and compelling evidence, and not so well to coercion and manipulation. There are 5 tactics in influencing that can be used to influence people. Before deciding which is the best to use, you always need to consider reading people. If you're going to successfully influence someone, you need to know who they are. Anticipate their expectations. Put yourself in their position. Make sure you know their expectations correctly. Once you know them, be sure to address them. And keep the focus on them. What's in it for them? Create a win-win situation. 5 influencing tactics include integration or praise. Never go a day without praising. Be sensitive to others' moods. Compliment past achievements before you ask for something more. State why you're asking them instead of someone else. Personal compliments. Acknowledge the inconvenience. Basically making it hard for them to say no. You want to make an emotional appeal. Rational persuasion uses logic, not just the facts. Well, it works well with those people who are influenced more by thinking than emotional appeals. Guidelines to follow include stating why you need it, stating how they'll benefit, providing valid evidence, giving the pros and cons, and doing your homework. Inspirational appeal works well on emotionally responsive people. Some guidelines for using: know the values of the person you're appealing to. Appeal to that person's sense of self. Create a vision of the end product. Be positive, optimistic, upbeat, and use nonverbals. Personal appeals based on loyalty and friendship. A do-it-for-me please. Especially helpful when you have weak power. Guidelines for use: come right out and say you need a favor. Appeal to your friendship and tell the person you're counting on them. Legitimization, using your valid authority. Guidelines for use include: refer to the organization's policies, procedures. Show them written documentation if needed, and show precedent, things that have happened before. Some influencing tactics. Remember, you can mix and match tactics, and you can always fall back and regroup for a renewed tactic if the first one doesn't work. Organizational politics is a network by which power is gained or transferred and exercised or used on others. It's critical to career success. If you can't escape it, you want to succeed. It's a fact of life in many organizations, and it's the process of gaining and using power. Power and politics do go hand in hand. 3 primary political behaviors include networking, reciprocity, and coalition building. Networking is a process of developing relationships, probably the most important factor in gaining success. Reciprocity is you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. It involves creating obligations and debts and using them to get what you want and need, used to achieve ongoing goals. Coalition building is a network of alliances, a network of networks, to achieve a specific goal, networking exponentially. Developing your political skills. You can be good at politics without being a bad person. Follow the human relations guidelines in your text for building good skills. You want to work consciously to increase those skills. If you don't agree with one, don't use it. Learn what it takes to succeed where you are and apply the relevant skills. Business and organizational etiquette. Political skills include basic manners and expected code of behavior in business situations. Being politically correct is important. Not understanding or using correct and expected etiquette can result in a variety of problems and losses. Vertical politics are the relations with superiors and subordinates. They're most important people in your professional environment. Relationships with your boss and subordinates. Relationships with your boss affects job satisfaction. It can mean the difference between success or failure in a job. It's vital to develop a good relationship, in other words, managing your boss, or leader-member exchange theory. Adapt your personal style to match the boss's. People generally like those with similar attitudes and style. Get to know what makes your boss tick and what they expect from you. So it's your job to help your boss be successful. Common expectations of bosses are included here in terms of loyalty, information. In terms of going over your boss's head, you want to exercise extreme caution, which makes you look disloyal and unethical. Openness to criticism. Everyone making mistakes, but don't be defensive when criticized. Cooperation, regaining trust, initiatives. Relations with subordinates. Getting the job done takes top priority for both management and employees. Sometimes people, being human, and all managers can become abusive. Therefore, managers need to use the leader-member exchange model for developing positive relations with employees. It's possible to have good human relations on the job without being liked or being popular by maintaining professionalism. In terms of friendships and open door policy, the nature of the boss-employee relationship makes a true friendship mostly inadvisable in the workplace. The manager should be friendly but not cross the professional line. Open door policy is a practice of being available to employees. Managers need to prioritize the amount of time spent with employees. It should be enough to keep the employee happy and productive by not so much as to interfere with the job the manager needs to be doing. Relations with other departments and organizations. Most jobs require interactions with people in other departments or with other organizations. Developing good human relations in all areas and creating win-win situations will benefit you and the organization. And your relations with other departments and organizations affect your overall job performance. Horizontal politics are the relationships with your peers in your organization and other organizations. To be successful, you must cooperate, compete, criticize. Cooperate. Your success is linked to your ability to cooperate with others. Sharing and collaborating are vital. Compete. Even though you cooperate with others, there's always the element of competition. You need to balance being a good team player while still allowing yourself to look good as an individual. Criticize. Don't seek out faults in others, but when appropriate, be tactful. And don't go to the boss unless it's a serious offense or a danger. Customer satisfaction and complaints. The goal of business is happy customers. Happiness is based on perception of customers, and to provide customer satisfaction, you must listen to their needs. You have to maintain a positive attitude in dealing with customers. What not to do. Don't ignore customers. Greet them immediately, and if busy, acknowledge you'll be with them within very soon. Don't conduct personal business while waiting on customers. Give the customer your undivided attention. Don't be rude or defensive with customers. Stay cool, calm, and collected. Always apologize, even if you weren't in the wrong. Dealing with dissatisfied customers, paraphrase and apologize. Stay calm. Focus on helping them resolve the issue. Listen carefully and be sure you understand. Ask the customer how they want to resolve the issue. Cash or store credit. Some people are unreasonable and you can't always please everyone. Implement solution quickly. The faster the resolution, the happier the customer. Prevent future complaints and follow-up. Don't keep making the same mistakes. View complaints as an opportunity to make improvements. Follow up by calling or emailing the customer to make sure they're happy. Power and politics globally. Power is perceived and exercised differently around the world.